Hi, welcome to Data Tech, and here we can discuss about the connections in Power BI. We have multiple connections in Power BI. We can connect it to SQL Server, Excel databases, CSV files, and Excel workbooks and cloud-based data sources. And here we will discuss what are the connections and how it will work, when to use in this video. And let's get into that. Basically, we have three types of connections. The first one is the import mode, and the second one is the direct query connection, and the third one is the live connection. In the import mode connection, the Power BI directly connected with any data sources, and after that, after connecting to the data sources, it will generate local copy inside the Power BI virtual machine. And while doing any operations and interactions, every time it will generate query to the local copy of the data, and it won't directly connect it won't directly generate the query to the data source. And here we can see the step by step process how it will work the import mode. Here first we will connect it to the SQL server or Excel or Oracle, any databases, and from there we can import the data to virtual machine. Here virtual machine is nothing but the Vertipack engine, memory engine in the Power BI. From there, it will connect it to the Power BI reports. And here we have advantages and disadvantages for the import mode. Here it will work faster performance, and it will allow full Power Query transformations, and it will allow to create all kind of DAX functionalities and better compressions works online because we are importing data into our local machine. And we have the disadvantages as well. Data is not real time, and we have to refresh every time while getting new data. And it is while working with import data mode, and the data set size also depends on Power BI capacity and the license and everything. And the second connection here is the direct query connection. In the direct query connection, it will work only the databases like SQL server or cloud databases like Snowflake. At the time only we can use the direct query connection. We can't use this for Excel and CSV or text files. And here every time it will, while connecting to data sources with the direct query connection, every time Power BI generate the SQL query to generate the result to send it to data sources here. And here this is the architecture of the data direct query connection here. In first of all, Power BI report connected to the SQL query generate, and the SQL query generated, it will connect it to the any databases which we have connected, and it will return the result. Based on the result, we can see the visualization. Suppose, for example, if user selected or clicked on the bar chart, and based on the bar chart, other all visualization it has to reflect. So, right, while clicking on the bar chart, it will generate the SQL query. From SQL query, it will connect it to the databases, and it will execute in the database level, and it will generate the results. From that results, the whole Power BI report will update it. Okay, here also we have advantages and disadvantages for direct query connection. While connecting to the direct query connection, um, here every time the data is up to date, and we can schedule the refresh, and automatically data will update in the databases and the visualizations as well. And here we have the few disadvantages. While connecting to the direct query connection, our internet should be very fast, and the data, while loading to the databases, it will generating the results, it will took lot of time if we have dealing with the millions of records. And this is the main disadvantages in the direct query connection. And coming to third one is the live connection. Here a live connection is nothing but the continuously the Power BI report always connected to the data source. Here in this live connection, we have to create one semantic model. Semantic model is nothing but we will connect it to the data sources, whatever it would be, SQL server or Snowflakes or Azure Synapse or Databricks or Excel files or CSV files, whatever. By using these data sources, we have to connect one semantic model, and we have to create one tables with the relationships. And here we can create any DAXs and row level securities and everything we can create in this model. And this model we have to publish it in Power BI services or SSAS or AS services. From the services, we have to connect to the Power BI desktop, and we can implement our visualizations. And many people we can connect it to at a time to the semantic model, and they can generate their respective visualizations in the by using the live connection. Here also few advantages and disadvantages we have. Its live connection is similar with the direct query, because here also it will directly continuously connected with the data sources, and if we are handling with million rows of records at the time, it will impact on the Power BI reports. And the one advantage is here we can our data always be up to date in the live connection. Usually we have three types of connections in the Power BI, that is the import mode, direct query, and the live connection. This dual connection is nothing but, suppose we want to connect with the databases along with any Excel files which have the less data at the time. Suppose if we connected with one Excel file and we have to connect it with the one data source which have the million records, at the time this data source which we have million records in the database, we can connect as the direct query connection, and this Excel file we can connect as the import connection. And this Excel file, it will store in the local copy in the memory, and it will generate the queries from here. And this data source is always connected to the database, and here this kind of a connection we can call it as the dual connection in the Power BI. Finally, in most of the projects we use import connections if we have the less data, and it's good to import into the Power BI engine. Or else if we are handling the millions of records and which is stored in the databases, we are not able to import the data set into our virtual machine. At the time we have to go with the direct query connections. And coming to tips, as per my experience, I used maximum of the time I used the import connection, and it will improve the performance. And I was not worked with the live data sets. My data was updated weekly wise, not in hourly wise or not in the day wise. So I maximum used the import connection in my previous projects. Yeah, thanks for watching. If you have any doubts, please drop your comment. Thank you.